Hello, my name is Haley Bagley, and for my how-to speech, I will be demonstrating how to propagate a Monstera and a Pathos. I will tell you that Monsteras get really big, and sometimes a little bit heart-wrenching because it takes them a long time to get big. However, I promise you it's going to be fine. Once they do get a certain size, they start to split their leaves, and I feel like that is a good time to propagate. Most plants have what are called nodes. Nodes are lines that grow roots. Let me show you it here. This would be your node. Here's another node. This is an aerial root, which not very many plants have, but Monsteras do. It just helps them stabilize. So when propagating, you would cut in between the nodes at an angle. And once you do, you will need to have a big vase, depending on where you're from. Preferably a clear one. That way your light source, whether it be the sun or artificial light, can go through and it will help promote roots faster. Now if you don't have a clear one, that's fine. It will just grow a little bit slower. There's not really a time frame on how long it takes to grow roots. It really just depends on a lot of factors. This is how it looks when propagated. Now, when it's time to put it in a firm soil foundation, you would wait until there are at least 4 inches of roots and enough to consider a bundle. That's when it will thrive in soil. And like I said, there's no time limit. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes 3 months, so do not be discouraged. As long as the leaves are still green and not wilting, you're doing great. If they do begin to turn brown, you might need to move it. Monsteras do best in medium light, so that means basically if they can see the sun, you're doing good. Now artificial, it's fine to be right on. For Pathos, they also have nodes. In order to propagate, you would cut in between nodes. There's 2 things you can do. You can either make multiple plants by cutting in between each node. That might take a little bit longer to root. I like to cut a vine because it usually works a little quicker. So in between nodes, you will also go at an angle. When you cut as a vine, usually longer than this, but that's okay, you will take off at least 1 leaf because you need about 1.5 inches. That way you can put it in the water, and you don't want to submerge the leaves or it will get stinky and moldy fast. Now for the Pathos, of course you don't need such a big medium for it. Sorry, got my face there. I love jars because if you're a plant lady like me, you propagate a lot, and any jar is good. Of course, like I said, you don't want the leaf to be submerged, so plop it in there like that, and you can either use the sun in the window, or I'll show you what I like to use for my Pathos. Something like this. And you see a couple little more propagations going on there. And that is how you propagate a Monstera and a Pathos. Thank you so much.